Going on, dudes and dudettes? Yes, a couple of dude guys made the all ACC teams this past day. So yes, of course, Kyle Filipowski, their star sophomore, made the first team. Jeremy Rhodes, their super senior, came back, made the all ACC third team, and the freshman Jared McCain made the all ACC freshman team. So maybe that's some good positive news to maybe he will be in the running at least to be the ACC freshman of the year, but as of right now he's just on the all team or whatever the heck they call it. So a nice recognition for all those guys. On Duke, LeBron, I think it was the other day, sent some shoes for the guys to go when they're playing in Vegas in the Pac-12 tournament, the USC basketball players. He sent them some new LeBrons, but they were like obviously the USC colors, whether they're the red and the white bottom, and I think the full whites as well in case they're playing away jerseys. So yeah, they look pretty cool either way, but he probably should have sent them to the women's team who won the Pac-12 tournament this last weekend. They definitely deserve some too as well, in my opinion. Then the other day there was a track and field player who won the NCAA championship in her event, the 60-meter hurdles, and that was Jasmine Jones. It's a pretty cool accomplishment for her. Obviously, USC has always had a pretty good track and field team, so showing out once again there. Yes, when it came to DeMar DeRozan, ex-USC shooting guard, he did win this last week Eastern Player of the Week on that side of the conferences. So that's pretty good for him. They were actually on a West Coast trip and played a lot of the West Coast teams, but he did step up really good towards the end of a lot of those games, as well as watching a lot of the highlights, and he definitely averaged like nearly 30 points on that streak. So yes, congrats to him. And then there was a 4-star 2025 wide receiver, Cooper Perry, who recently visited USC on an unofficial visit. And usually when guys do that, they kind of are expecting to get an offer, like an official scholarship offer, but sadly he did not get one. But it looks like there might be some good news coming towards his way that he could be getting a scholarship offer soon, and he does want it too. He would love to get a scholarship offer, according to him, from USC, and that's always good to get another 4-star talented player, especially from a different state, to go to your school. So yes, hoping that I will be able to update you at some point soon that USC has offered the 4-star wide receiver Cooper Perry. And yes, 247 Sports recently did put out a list of their top 25 quarterbacks during the season right now going into 2024. And remember we talked about the last video that both Miller Moss and Malik Murphy were on this short list of very intriguing or exciting players, especially at the quarterback position for the season coming up. But surprisingly, they did not even make this list at all, which is pretty crazy because a lot of people thought highly of even Malik Murphy being the second string quarterback at Texas, and yet now that he's going to be starting and have his own team, now all of a sudden this analyst does not believe in him for some reason. But either way, I don't know, I guess we'll just have to see how this goes, and hopefully they will be able to prove these lists wrong. And PFF recently did do a mock draft that of course involved Caleb Williams going number 1, but at number 5 they had the Chargers trading with the Minnesota Vikings, who went up I think from 11 or 12. I forget where it's slotted in the first round, but either way I think they were able to pick up like a nice 3rd round pick and maybe a couple more as well, just moving back a couple spots, and I think they were still able to select a really good player in the end in that mock draft. So yes, another thing that they could look at, especially now that after today, the first sort of tampering part of the NFL free agency, Kirk Cousins, the Minnesota quarterback, already has left for Atlanta. So they're definitely in need of a quarterback, especially if they can't get one in free agency. And I'm sure the Chargers would do the trade as long as they get something in return. So something to look at in the next month or so. And yes, Michael Pittman Jr. did recently get at least almost finalizing a deal to stay with the Colts officially on a 3-year, $70 million deal, which has $46 million guaranteed on that contract the first couple of years. And I guess they're just backloading a bunch of that into his final year, so they're able to save a little bit of money as well. It's kind of a bit of a low number for him, in my opinion, maybe just because he's not a first-round pick. They're able to only offer him so much, and obviously of what they still have, and they're going to pay other guys. So either way, it's still a good deal. I always knew he was probably going to end up sticking around there for a while, so congrats to him. Another ex-USC player, defensive lineman Leonard Williams, signed a 3-year deal, which is averaging around $21.5 million, it said. So I'm assuming he's got like a $60+ million deal from Seattle, which is pretty cool. He was traded there before the trade deadline this season from the Giants. So yeah, pretty nice payday for him to stay up there in Seattle. So yeah, congrats to another USC guy. And then, yeah, there was the Chargers finally making some moves where they were able to sign the running back Gus Edwards on a 2-year, $6.5 million deal away from the Baltimore Ravens. Obviously, the new GM, Joe Ortiz, and a lot of other, other people in the front office are from the Baltimore side as well. They obviously liked this running back, and they got him on a pretty nice, cheap deal for a couple years. So I don't expect this guy to be their main starter because they're definitely not paying him that way. Maybe they're going to be looking at another guy in free agency because a couple of big guys just got recently released. Joe Mixon from the Bengals and Aaron Jones of the Packers as well. So maybe they're going to be looking at those guys and in the draft as well. So we will see. Then they did sign a tight end, Will Dissly from Seattle, on a 3-year, $14 million deal, which is a pretty nice deal spread out over 3 seasons. He's a bit more of a blocker, but he can catch a couple touchdowns here and there as well. So I think this is definitely a very nice pick for the Chargers. And then they did re-sign their safety Alohi Gilman to a 2-year, $11 million deal. So it's a nice, cheap deal overall. Be able to still keep a guy that was one of the better players when he was healthy the past couple of seasons. And, they don't have to spend as much money as they thought they would have on a free agent. There's a lot of good guys still out there, but maybe they will be able to get a guy on a nice deal now. So we will see. And a couple of guys that are leaving the Chargers that signed elsewhere was Austin Eckler, the running back, signed like a 2-year deal with the Washington Commanders. Obviously not the big payday he was expecting, but he left. And I think also the linebacker Kenneth Murray signed a 2-year deal with the Tennessee Titans. So yeah, as long as guys are leaving your team and signing somewhere else, the Chargers will recoup back a couple of compensatory picks. I think that's how you say it, where they're kind of like invisible draft picks that these teams get if you lose a player in free agency. And I don't know if it's depending on like how much they sign for, or I don't know what it is stat-wise and all that stuff, but you'll get back a future round pick in this year's draft, starting from the 2nd round and beyond. So I don't know if these guys really made enough money in free agency for them to warrant a really big return back on a pick, like a high pick, like a 2nd or 3rd rounder. Maybe, hopefully, the highest it'll be a 5th. You never know, but anything extra is always nice as well. It's tough to always see people go, but these 2 guys, they definitely finally needed to move on, in my opinion. So we will see where they go from here. Thanks for watching, people. Like and subscribe. Comment down below. Let me know what y'all think. Have a great rest of your day. Bye.